All right, Shalom. First and foremost, like all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Karkadash. Fellow honors to the apostles and elders of Red Millstone, and to all the sincere come out there pressing the truth and sincerity. Just wanted to go in on the chapter Ecclesiasticus, chapter 28, or Sirach 28. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 28, verse 1. And he that revengeth shall find from the Lord. It's like, and he that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. So, basically, if you're not forgiving, your brother for his trespass, then the Most High really not gonna forgive you. Precept, real quick. Salakia. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart, and thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and suffer sin not upon him. Thou shalt not avenge or bear a grudge against thy brother. So the scriptures say you're supposed to forgive your brother 7 times 7. So you're not supposed to hold no grudge, no hatred, no malice, toward your brother, which is your neighbor. This is back in Sirach chapter 28, verse 2. It says, "Forgive thy neighbor and hurt not." It's like, forgive thy neighbor and hurt not that he had, neither done unto thee. So shall thy sin also be forgiven when thou prayest. So as you forgive him, the Most High gonna forgive you, showing mercy toward you. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 14. It says, "For if ye forgive men their trespass, the heavenly Father will also forgive you. But if you forgive not men their trespass, neither will the heavenly Father forgive you your trespass." So you gotta pretty much forgive your brother, when he offends you, and if you don't forgive him, then the Most High won't forgive you. But this is back in Sirach chapter 3. It's like chapter 28, verse 3. It says, "Oh man, so one man beareth hatred against another, and do not seek pardon from the Lord. He that showeth no mercy unto man, which is like himself, does he ask for forgiveness of his own sin? For if he that is but flesh nourish hatred, and will entreat, who nourish hatred, who will entreat for pardon of his sin, remember thy end, and let enmity cease. Remember the corruption and death, and abide in the commandments. Remember the commandments, and bear no malice against thy neighbor." Right. So don't be harboring hatred. Don't be holding no grudge against thy brother, which is thy neighbor. And remember the covenant of the highest, and winked at their and winked at ignorance. As the Most High winked at your ignorance. So when your brother offend you, you're supposed to wink at the ignorance. In other words, forgive them. You could hash it out with them. And hey, don't let it fester. A little leaven the whole lump. It says, "Remember the commandments, and bear no malice to thy neighbor. Remember the covenant of the Most High, and wink at ignorance." It's like, and wink at ignorance. "Abstain from strife, that shall diminish thy sins. For a furious man will kindle strife." So if you holding on to that anger, you hold on to malice, you hold on to strife, hey, to anger, hey, you sow in discourse. You know, quick. This is Proverbs 28. That's like Proverbs 15 and 18. It says, "A wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife." You know, so you can't be so quick to get angry with your brother. You know, of course your brother gonna offend you. You know, hey, but the scriptures say, if thou have an all with thy brother, go talk to him privately, and if it continue to be a problem, you know, go forth and grab counsel basically. But back in Sirach chapter 28, verse 10, it says, "Remember." It's like I'll start verse 9. It says, "A sinful man disacquitted friends, and make a debate among them that be at peace." You know, always stirring up strife. As the matter of as a matter of fire is, so it burneth, and as a man's strength is, so is the wrath, so is his wrath, and according to his riches, his anger riseth. Stronger, stronger they are which contend, the more they will be inflamed. You know, so that the more offended you are, the more you're gonna be engulfed in that flame. You know, be engulfed and hatred towards your brother. And haste, it's like in hasty contention kindles the fire, and in haste of fighting sheddeth blood. If thou blow a spark, and it shall burn. It's like verse 12. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. You know, so if you continue to push at it and to continue to hold that grudge, hey, that spark gonna turn into a flame, and eventually it's gonna burn. You know, and you're gonna be holding that malice, you're gonna be holding that hatred, that contempt against your brother, and also it's gonna hinder you, from getting your blessing. You know, from Yahweh Shemi outside forgiving you of your sins. Say, if thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. Right? It shall be it's, you deal with the situation right then and there. You know, and both these come out of thy mouth. Curse the whisperer and double tongue, for as such have destroyed many that were at peace. A backbiting tongue had it disquieted many, and driven them from nations to nations. A strong city had it put it down, and overthrown the houses of great men. A backbiting tongue had cast out a virtuous woman, and that virtuous woman is wisdom. A backbiting tongue, cast out wisdom, and deprived them from their labors. Whoso hearken unto it shall never find rest, and never dwell quietly. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the strokes of the tongue breaketh bones. So you can take wounds, take beatings, but the tongue is he said, roughly paraphrasing, life and death is in the power of the tongue. He said, but strokes of the tongue breaketh bones. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many as have fallen by the tongue. Because rumors, envy, strife, these all come by way of of the tongue. Festering thoughts, holding grudges, having hatred towards your brother. So verse 19, it says, Well is he that defended through the venom thereof, who had not drawn the yoke thereof, nor had been bound by the bands. For the yoke thereof is the yoke of iron, and the bands thereof are the bands of brass. So it's a hard thing. The death thereof is evil as death, and the grave were better than it. It shall have rule over them that fear the it shall not have rule over them that fear the Most High, and shall be of the Most High. Neither shall they be burned therein with the flame thereof. Let me grab this precept. Verse. It says, reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, he will love thee. So you reprove a man, full of wrath, who not walking in not forgiving, or that's harboring that that negative, hateful energy, and he shall hate thee, a wicked man. But rebuke a wise man, he will love thee. This is back in Sirach, chapter 28, chapter 28, verse 23. For such forsake the Lord shall fall into it. So like I said, if you you holding that hatred, you holding that burden, you're not walking in the way of Yahweh outside, forgiving your brother. Hey, that same hatred, that same snare you're gonna fall into. And it shall burn them, and it shall not be quenched, and it shall be sent upon them as a lion, and devour them as a leopard. Look at the hedge of thy possession about with thorns, and bind them up with silver and gold, and weigh thy words in the balance, and make a door and a bar for thy mouth. It says, beware thou slide not. Beware thy slide not by it, lest thou fall before him that lieth in wait. So you gotta be careful on what you say to your brother, how you deal with certain situations with your brother, because the same way you deal with your neighbor or your brother is the same way way the Most High gonna deal with you. That would roughly paraphrase, that what your man reapeth, that shall he also sow it. But this is the last precept, and I'm gonna grab and close out. This is Psalms chapter 15, verse 2. It said, he that walketh uprightly walketh in righteousness, and speaketh the truth in his heart. So speaketh the truth in his mind. Always dwelling, on the truth. Not backbite, not holding grudges, not speaking evil of brother. He that backbite will not hold it. It's like verse 3. He that backbite with his tongue, nor does evil with his neighbor. Nor does evil to his neighbor, nor taketh up reproach against his neighbor. So you don't want to be a backbiter. You don't want to hold no grudges against your brother. Hey, if you got, like I said, the scripture roughly paraphrasing, if thou got to offer aught with thy brother, hey, you want to hash that out right away. So like I said, with that, hopefully this video was edifying. With that, I'm all praise to you, how about outside, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and to peace and salutations to all you, you elect out there. Shalom.